Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over a potential wildcard draft for Double Game Week 25. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment with your plans for Double Game Week 25, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we're going to be taking a look at the goalkeepers and the defenders first. Now, the double game week has been confirmed for game week 25. It will be Liverpool and Aston Villa that are going to be doubling. So, of course, the wildcard is going to reflect that. But either way, in goal, we do have Raya and Areola. I do really like the Arsenal fixtures from a defensive standpoint going forward over the next 5. I think Leicester and West Ham obviously are fantastic fixtures. Forest away, less so, but I still think they could keep a clean sheet in that game. And then Man United away as well. You'd expect them to probably keep a clean sheet in that fixture as well. Chelsea home's quite a tough one, but I just think for the foreseeable future, Ray is just a very safe goalkeeper option to go with. You could go with one of the Villa or Liverpool keepers in Alisson or Martinez, but if you do that, you have to rely on Areola definitely playing. There's a little bit of, I guess, uncertainty with the West Ham goalkeeper at the moment. We did have Fabianski in for a bit, and now obviously Areola's in. So it's one of those, who do you go with really? Because obviously Fabianski is 4.1, Areola's 4.2, but it looks like potentially Areola's back in favour because he's the one that's playing at the moment. Again, that could change again. So I guess if you did go with one of the double game week goalkeepers, you'd have to get the Areola / Fabianski right, because of course whoever's doubling in 29 is going to be whoever's doubling in 25 is going to be blanking in 29. So if you have, let's say, Martinez in goal, he blanks in 29, and then you have Areola and he doesn't end up playing, you've got no goalkeeper in game week 29. So just be a little bit I guess wary of that. There are other goalkeepers as well that you could go with. Maybe you could go with the Bournemouth goalkeeper or something like that. Maybe the Brentford goalkeeper, because they've got really good fixtures coming up. But I think Ray is just a fine choice. I mean, he is 5.5 mil, so he's a little bit more expensive, but I think he's solid. I think he's absolutely fine. But anyway, those are the goalkeepers. At the back, we've got Kirkes, who's got Southampton away, Konza, who's got Ipswich at home and Liverpool at home, Mikolenko, who's got Palace away, Robinson, who's got Forest at home, and then we've also got Trent as well, who's got Wolves at home and Villa away. We're still waiting on an update about Trent. It looks quite promising that he should be fine for that. Well, the Everton fixture in game week 24, and of course, if he's fine for that, then he should be fine for double game week 25. If we do get any information that he's not going to make it for double game week 25, then obviously you can just downgrade him to a Van Dijk or something like that. But I definitely think you want at least one Liverpool defender, arguably Trent, just because he's the best option. So I've gone Trent. Robinson's in there just because he has some really good fixtures coming up. Forest and then Palace at home, Wolves away, and then Brighton away, and then Spurs at home. Just really, really nice fixtures. A really good fixture in blank game week 29 as well. So that's why Robinson's in there. Mikolenko's in there as well because he's relatively cheap, and he's also got a very nice fixture in game week 29. You have to be wary and I guess just always have that in the back of your head, because blank game week 29, obviously we know Villa and Liverpool are going to be blanking, and it's quite likely that Newcastle and Crystal Palace are going to be blanking as well. I know Newcastle are through because they beat Arsenal, but they're still not completely, they're still not definitely blanking yet in 29. It depends on how the results go this weekend. But of course, if they're blanking, then, you know, that's 4 teams there that are going to be blanking in 29. But either way, Mikolenko's got a really nice fixture in 29, which is why I'd play him. Like I say, Konza's in there. He is blanking, but he does have a nice double this week. Well, I say it's a nice double. That Ipswich at home fixture is really nice, and then Liverpool at home is quite tough. But then when he's got Chelsea and stuff, like, maybe you just get rid of Konza after this week, because I don't think you really need all these Villa players over the next few weeks, because the fixtures aren't the best after the double. Like Chelsea at home, Palace away, Brentford away, and then they blank. You're more or less just bringing him in for the double. But either way, finishing off the defenders, we've got Kirkes, who's got Southampton away. Just a really nice fixture run from a Bournemouth standpoint going into the next 4 or 5 fixtures. You know, Southampton away, Wolves at home, Brighton away, Spurs away, Brentford at home. Kirkes is just really, really good as an option going forward so much. I really like the Munoz pick as well from Palace, but because they're most likely blanking in 29, it's just another transfer that you have to think about. And I think that these 5 defenders alternate pretty nicely anyway on the build up to 29. And again, you can get rid of Konza after this week regardless. But anyway, that's the defense and the goalkeepers. In midfield, we've got Rodgers, Mbeumo, Palmer, Kluivert, and then also Mo Salah as well. There are other Villa options that you could potentially bring in. Obviously, Rashford might be straight into the starting 11. You've also got Marlon as well, players like that. But Rodgers, I think, is a definite pick on a wildcard draft, just because not not simply because he's got a double this week, but because he's just a really good player to have for that price point as well. But like I say, he doubles anyway, so he's going to be getting played. And Mbumo also makes the team as well. West Ham away, Leicester away, and then Everton at home. Really, really nice fixtures coming up. The 29 fixtures quite difficult, but on penalties, still relatively cheap. I just think Mbumo's a really solid option to have. Cole Palmer still makes the squad as well. The fixtures that they've got coming up are absolutely incredible. Like, he's got Brighton away, which is an alright fixture, Villa away, but then he's got Southampton at home and then Leicester at home, which are the best fixtures you can have back to back. I just don't see the point of not having Cole Palmer in, or even transferring him out or anything like that. I just don't know why you get rid of him right now. Kluivert's in there as well. Could go Semenyo if you really want to do, but Kluivert is on penalties. And again, I just feel like you have to have a Bournemouth attacker from these fixtures going forward. I think they're just going to be so good. And then Mo Salah picks himself. He's going to be heavily captained this week, even though they've got City away in game week 26. After double game week 25, you know, City aren't exactly a massive force this season. So yeah, Salah definitely picks himself, and again will be the captain this week for for double game week 25, I assume. So that's the midfield, and then up top we've gone Gakpo, Watkins, and Wissa. This is a little bit of a weird one though. You could easily go with different options. Firstly, if Watkins is not fit, then obviously you don't go Watkins. You could go Isak instead. Isak doesn't have the greatest fixtures and then potentially blanks in 29 as well, which is why I'm a little bit skeptical of bringing him into the team. But he's still obviously a great option. Newcastle are looking really, really good at the moment, and like I say, he's on penalties and stuff like that. So Isak's still a really, really solid option, but I feel like you could always just have Watkins on the wild card, and then if you really wanted Isak back, then you just bring him in. But remember that he does blank in 29. But like I say, if Watkins is not even fit, then you'd obviously maybe want that third Villa player from somewhere else, and that's where you start looking at a Rashford or something like that, if he is going to be into like the starting 11 straight off the bat. Gakpo's also in the squad as well. Again, you could get rid of him and bring in a cheaper striker, and then just have like 2 Liverpool defenders if you really wanted to, because there are some pretty decent cheap striking options as of right now. But Gakpo is just in there just simply because I feel like he is first choice, and he has been playing really well. He obviously scored in the cup game as well. So yeah, really like Gakpo as the option. And then the last option is Wissa as well. Only 6.3 mil. I know that they have just lost 2-0 at home to Spurs, but I do think the Wissa and Mbumo double up is honestly solid going forward. The only other striker that I really like the look of, but I obviously wouldn't be bringing in this week, is Cunha. He's got Liverpool away this week, but then after that, Bournemouth away, still quite tough. But then maybe around game week 27 is when you start bringing him in, because he's got Fulham at home, Everton at home. He's got Southampton away in 29, which of course is the blank game week, so a really nice fixture there. Then West Ham at home and Ipswich away. He's only 6.8 as well, so if you did have a little bit of money in the bank, then you can always go from Wissa to Cunha, or you could always just downgrade Gakpo to Cunha as well. Because I think after the double, do you really want to keep Gakpo? Like City away, Newcastle at home, the Southampton at home fixture is really nice, and then he blanks. But there's no guarantee he's going to start all of those fixtures. So I feel like just to get rid of that headache, you bring in Cunha, who is a penalty taker, and yeah, I think that'll just obviously sort you out. Again, there's 2.2 mil in the bank for this draft, just simply because you want the extra money for the assistant manager. Obviously, you can't play it this week if you're on wildcard, but if you are wanting to assistant manager later on down the line, you need at least, I guess, 0.5 mil, but if you want to be bringing in a double game week manager that's a little bit more pricey, they're 1.5 mil. So that's why you need a little bit of money in the bank. At this point, you're probably more aware of what your chip strategy is going to be, but either way, it's still nice to have that money in the bank for when you are going to want to bring in that assistant manager. But yeah, if I wasn't a wild card this week, this is something that I would probably go with. Again, you have to be wary of the 6 blanks on this team in game week 29, so all your transfers after this week would have to be in preparation for blank game week 29. But like I say, you can get rid of Konza this week. In a couple of weeks, you get rid of Gakpo for Cunha. And then you've only got 4 players to really deal with. Maybe you get rid of Trent a little bit down the line. If you've got loads of money saved up in Salah, then maybe you just keep him for the blank and then just obviously bench him. Again, it's completely team dependent. But anyway, though, this is the sort of draft that I'd go with. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.